All right.
You,
Yeah, you guys
you were
saw
getting us
that little thing
worried.
about Zoom being, yeah, because I have too many on here already. So but I filled up the storage they gave me, you know. Each one of these classes fills up the storage. So if I don't get rid of it, you know, it's can't get the next one on. Anyway, don't worry about it. I got it going on YouTube.
Yeah.
So it'll be recorded there. And anyway, I'm glad you guys came for the pain tonight. I mean, this is what puts pain in painting right here. This is what we're going to paint tonight. Okay.
I thought you were getting into torture a little.
It's Halloween, next tomorrow, and it's freezing cold, so you might as well, got to get something, painful out of the way. No. Susan asked for people. She wanted to see kind of blame Susan right off the bat. See, that's how this thing works. Make sure I don't take any of the blame. I pass it along. Anyway, so what we're gonna be doing it's an interesting one. I know you guys probably looked at it and said, "Yuck!" right away when you saw this painting, this thing, and you said, "There's really not much there. I'm interested in painting." And what I'm going to try to show you tonight is a way to get around that kind of thinking, where you can take almost any situation and make it interesting. I mean, you can take a pop can laying on the street and paint it interesting. I've seen wonderful paintings of tennis shoes, just some Converse tennis shoes, just the tennis shoes themselves sitting there in a still life, and they're just gorgeous. You can paint, make art out of pretty much anything. And even when you get something like this, yes, it looks a little busy, and it doesn't really probably drag you guys around, but what caught my eye, I'm going to show you guys what caught my eye when I saw this photo. This is my photo. I took it at, this is in Brussels. In fact, I thought it was going to be Barcelona, but it's in Brussels at a flea market. And we got there on a Saturday. We were walking around, and I said, this is pretty cool. They just have their wares laying out on this big plaza, and just on sheets and things. And some people have tents, and some people don't. But they have it like every Saturday. So people bring all the wares from all over the place. And so, it was really kind of neat. So I was just walking around with my son and my wife and everybody. And yeah, I just started taking photos, because they're so interesting. I've gotten a few paintings out of this place. This is one I've wanted to do. And I don't know this lady's name. I don't know anything about her. But I just happened to, I'll show you what I liked right now. Let me pull it up and we'll get into this. We're not playing around anymore. Okay, let me pull up the ones I want. Okay. There, this is what I saw when I saw this thing. This is a friend of mine's, James Crandall's painting. He's a master painter for the OPA. He's really, really super good. And when I saw this photo here, for some reason, this hit me. This shot kind of hit me. And I said, it could look like that. It could be, if you painted it right, it could probably be that good. And that's what I look at when I see things. I try to remember paintings I've seen, or, illustrations and things like that. I go, just pile these things back up in my head. And when I see stuff, I go, I can relate to it somewhere. And I go, that probably falls in that vein. It could be really good. So that's why I was thinking about this one. I'm going, yeah, this one could be really, really good, because I love the rim lighting on her. It's just wonderful going around her, and these light areas, You know, you got all these areas, you know, coming in, cutting her out. All this light coming in and just cuts her out of that scene and tells you everything you need to know that this whole scene's about her. It simplifies the heck out of the story. It just makes it kind of simple to do. Um, Other things, basically, this is all black, you know, dark, very dark in light. There's real not much else in it. So it simplifies things that way. If you look at it that way, you go, let me get rid of these things for a second. All this stuff, all these shirts here that you go, I don't want to paint those. You don't have to. You squint at them, they're all just small strokes and shapes. Nothing too big. You got a nice, really nice designed out shadow down here and her. You nail those little things, and the painting's just going to jump off the canvas. You got this truck back here. Yeah, it's a truck. It's a van, one of those cargo vans. Simple. Look at how simple that was. It's just a triangle, a square box with a little triangle top going back. I mean, it's very, very simple to shape, to worry about, not to worry about. People, we don't have much people. I took them, I got those things out for you. I mean, this was a guy here and the guy here. There's a guy right here behind her too. I don't see him though. When I look at the painting, I don't see him. I don't see anybody else. I only see her. That's the only thing you have to worry about. If you have time, if you want to put these other guys in, you know, you can go ahead and do it, but they're not needed. Let's see. I want to show you another thing about this that I thought was pretty interesting. Oops. I know you guys can tell I'm all excited. Okay, this is what it looks like in black and white. So you can start seeing tones and stuff. Now you can start to see this thing, how it could be. I mean, you could have all this stuff here, to here, to here, to here, to here. All the stuff behind her pretty much is all value-wise, you know, very dark. I mean, it's really, everything's right down in here. It's, you know, it's 8s and 9s. You put this together, 8s and 9s. You put her dress together, 8s and 9s. You put her skin tone together, it's an 8, right? And you put the thing behind, you know, this guy behind her, he's an 8. So this is the little tricky area right there. Is going to be the littlest tricky area right in here. Getting her skin tone to pop against the same value of reds. She's an orange red, so that's going to come forward. His shirt, it's not going to be a him anyway when you're done, but it's just a shape back there. The shape back there is a cool red or a medium red. So that's the key thing, is just making sure that you get, even with if you squint at it, they're so close in value. But if you make this area back in here.
Hey, Jim.
Yes.
Why do you want to paint him? Why couldn't he just
You
be
don't want to paint him. I don't want
another
to paint
shirt?
him.
Yeah, like couldn't he be another dark shirt instead of a red shirt, for instance?
He could be a different color too. That's always another chance. I'm just trying to make this tough on you.
Okay.
No. I'm trying to get across that this warm orange of her skin against the same value, both of the same values, how a warm is going to pop out of a cool. That's all it was. I just went around it the long way. But then if you look at everything, yes.
It's Susan. When I first looked at this too, are you gonna do that like real bright cone shape? It looks like a tent or something over her head. I was worried that I would make her look like she had a dunce cap on.
You know, I saw that too. After going, I knew it was a tent back there, and I knew the tent in the front here sort of, you know, gave away where she was. If Yeah, it does. Very good point, though. That does line up. I would just slide it over. That would be
Okay.
a slide over, just slide it off behind the van. If not,
Okay.
it's definitely not a big key thing.
Mhm.
Um, in any way. But yeah, yeah, I know. Thank you for pointing that one out. Any other questions? Okay. Um, let's see. Back to this guy. Uh, okay, color wise, yeah, it doesn't have to be red. It definitely could be. You could just, make it one of these colors of the shirts behind there. You got purples, you got browns, you got blues. You don't have to make it that way. I was just trying to show you that if you do this thing right, that orange, her skin's going to pop out of any color. And I was just a little more of a challenge than a final thing there. Other things, okay, design wise, I'm going to show you a couple other little things, tricks to look at. And that's this thing right here. Yeah, it's a square. It's pretty boring. It's got some lines through it, right? But I'm not looking at it as a design or anything else. I'm looking at it as a measuring tool. That square, if you measure it, everything out, you start to measure things out. You can start to get how to place things around, in this painting. And that square, in fact, is exactly. I mean, if you put it down here at her feet, it would go right up here, go right to the bottom of her bag. You stack another one of those, the same size box on itself, another one on top of itself, and you're going to get, you got pretty much, you've started. I'm just figuring out the layout, how to lay it out and get her in the right spot and get her to the right height and everything. And this box here, down here, basically, this box here, the same width of her dress. So that helps you a lot when you go up here. Makes everything real simple about where things have to go. It's almost like graphing out your painting a little bit, and just helps you get things in a better finished drawing mode. Takes that little problem out of the way. It's always going to be there, but this is just a nice little way to get it laid out right, quickly, way to make sure your measurements are pretty much right. And then look at around here and see how everything else relates. You start finding all these shirts up here about the same width. You see that this square here is pretty much can be a key to this whole painting. And look at here. Look at all these little squares in the street too. Yeah, see that too. That'll help you out.
Are we gonna paint the cobblestones in?
I'm counting them. I'm counting every one that's in there and every little thing.
Oh boy.
No, I don't paint. I don't paint those things in there. I mean, in this, maybe in a certain little area, I'll put a couple in, and then, they're just going to be just marks things. The thing also to look at how they stagger. If you do start putting a few in, look at how they stagger. They just up and down, just like little stairs going through there. That's how they all run, just like that. So if you do a few of them down in here, you get the basic lines, and then you put one in, and then you put stagger the bricks a couple. You only have to do a few. You don't have to know. And then back in here, it's all texture. We tried to get it with value and texture without doing, major lines. At least the vertical or the horizontal versions or lines of these guys go away pretty quickly. Maybe these guys you might have to put in a few more, a little bit farther back. not many. I wouldn't, just squint your eyes at it. You can kind of see everything because it falls back right about there. So if you don't, and I wouldn't put them in, put them in with
Okay.
a value. Don't try to put them in as stones. But when you get back in anywhere in here, just forget about that. Just put in a couple of lines, put in a value color, couple long lines that kind of feel like they go back into perspective. That's all you got to do. The same with the coats. That's the same way to treat the coats. Don't treat any of this stuff as clothes. Treat them as shapes. See them as just a shape, just a brush stroke. How can you make that one piece of clothes in one stroke or two strokes? I think of it as a medium tone and a highlight. They don't get much love. All right. They get basically one shape, one draw of the brush down, and then maybe one color on top of it just to give it enough color. Just a hint. And they're going to be subtle too. They're not going to be anything to make, pull any attention away from her. So try to keep it simple. That's the way you simplify your paintings. You visually simplify it. You don't want to give any too much credence to even the stuff that's back in here. And Susan, of course is right. Just move this thing over, you'll be fine. That's all you have to do. It's going to do everything anyway, because it was just lining up perfectly with the top of her head. So you slide it back over, and then all of a sudden it's on top of the van. The van has a cone. That's the problem. It's always going to be something, right? And that's what we get to in the paintings. Just figure out finally what you can live with. Just move it over, see if it works, stay with it. If nothing else, it's a tree. It might work better as a tree anyway. See, it probably does look better as a tree. So think about that little stuff. If you don't like the shirt, you don't like the guy, don't put him in. I'm not going to put him in. I will probably put in this little shadow back there of him, just because, you got all this stuff pointing here. It's nice to have just a little stop of something that says, breaks things up and slows people down, slows the eye down. So that's what I'm looking. I'd say I keep that little thing, but I like the design, the light design on this thing. I think it could be a very good painting. Always, and if it isn't, no one will see it. So I don't worry about it. And I think, you guys will get a lot out of it. I mean, I think there's a lot of nice things to come out of it. So I think I've eaten up enough time. Any questions?
What size panel are you using, Jim?
I'm going small. I'm going to just do a 12 by 16. I would recommend going small on this one too. A 12 by 16 for me is small. I see this, the way I see this painting is it's not mine. It's not me. It's not anyone I know. It's not so blowing it up and doing a big painting of any size isn't going to get me anywhere. This needs to be a small little gem. That's what I'm looking at, is a small little gem of a painting. And that's what I'm shooting for. So it's very gestury, going to be fun. So I'll see you guys next week. And hopefully you guys finish this up nice. Okay, make me proud.
Oh.
Well, we try. One thing, oh God, I did it again. I started talking. I started going in class, and I started going, oh, everything's going so well. I got this set up. I got this set up. I got this set up. And I look in my pocket, and I feel like, I got my phone in my pocket. I'm sorry, I got to call myself and give me my thing. So any questions? I can, give you, I can tell you, I'm more than an artist. I can give you all kinds of information too. Yeah. No, give me 2 seconds here. Just gotta, here it is already. There we go. Oh, sure. Gotta get it. All right. Colors. I can tell you the colors right off the bat and keep going here. But that won't help until I change the camera around. Let me get the camera around. Good. Sorry. I'm lucky this isn't being recorded. You guys are really going to have to remember everything on this one because, no, it'll be on YouTube again. Okay. Here we go. Beautiful colors. Marvelous colors. These, of course, a lot of these are Rembrandts, of course. Just regular titanium white. And this is supposed to be cad yellow light. But in fact, when I grabbed it and put it out, I was pretty quick about it. It's transparent yellow, but it would be cadmium yellow light, cad red light, cad orange. This is Venetian still. It's on my palette. Yellow ochre, still good. I can use it. Alizarin crimson, or if you're Rembrandt, it would be rose madder deep. Cobalt blue hue, phthalo green. That's a green blue, phthalo green blue. And I also have burnt umber out. So those are my colors. Burnt umber. I have burnt umber out. And I was just going through this on my other class about burnt umber, the problems with burnt umber that they were finding that like all classical paintings out there, a lot of them have the same, that are cracking and stuff. They all have the common color of burnt umber in them. And they're saying that burnt umber is comes from a mineral of clay. And it's what, keeps drying and stuff. So it dries, it soaks up moisture, it dries. So it cracks paintings. But it cracks stretch canvases, not panels. At least not yet. So we can use it. So I can put it back on my palette here since I know that. The thing about burnt umber, it's going to dry. By tomorrow morning, anything that it is in, color-wise, it's going to dry. It's going to be dried. It's like it has a natural dryer in it because it is built with clay. So that and ochre too. Okay, my big brush, my synthetics, and my bristles are going to be doing the job on this one today. Should go pretty good. Okay, colors. There she is. That's Ramona. I don't know her, but she is now Ramona. And she is picking through used clothes. That's what they do. It's so funny. These guys all selling used clothes. It's like going and seeing the Salvation Army here, color-wise. Look at the darks. I'm going to go for the dark clothes. Her clothes, theirs clothes. She's going to be in the warms. A lot of reds and warms here. These guys are going to be in blues and grays, basically, and come neutral yellows, browns. So it's not going to have a whole lot of color back in here, even when you might get, you got to have a couple little oranges here and there. And you got a little bit of orange here. That's not a really strong orange here either. That's a pretty tame orange. The light, I'll probably don't have enough white out at all I'm doing a smaller painting, but it only has to be here and here and a little bit up here. So color-wise, let's go through this. Let's do her. Let's do her colors first. Let's get those warms in there. Definitely, if you squint down, I see reds and greens in her. So I'm going to go with red and some Venetian. Phthalo green, in Venetian. Off what I see. That could be pretty doggone close. That's going to be pretty close for a lot of this her thing. Okay, a little bit more. Do I'm going to do two versions, of course.
This is her clothing or this is her?
No, her clothing,
Okay.
just her darks. Don't.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm thinking,
yeah. If I was going
uh-oh.
for her, yeah, she
Okay.
is definitely a phthalo green lady. No, I'm going. I always mix my darks first. My first line is going to be darks, and I'm trying to get the neutrals out of the way. Get those guys. I want to put them back to back to back because I want to be able to judge them here before I get them up there. Okay, the next things are the clothes. Yeah, she has some red in her dress and stuff, but this is good enough. I can get a red. I'll get a red out of everything else. I'm not going to worry about that. A lot of blues. So let's go with some blues. And since I have burnt umber out, let's go with burnt umber. Blue and burnt umber. That just makes a beautiful little gray. You know, I'm going to make two. We're going to be one on this blue side and one on this brown side. You can keep it pretty heavy on the brown side too. It doesn't have to be, you know, you should be able to really tell when you pull that down that one's on the blue. Well, that one could go a little bit more blue. I might cheat it down on the next round too. So you can see that's warm. That's cool. Then I'm going to make some purples. I see some purples in here and some nice purples. A lot of these colors are going to end up going into the street and into the shadows. But I need a couple. I'm going to make up a couple here. Purples of one's a cool one with the alizarin and blue. So this one, as you can see, when I put the alizarin in, it took it, made it a little more red. So I'll be on the next one. I'll put more blue in it. So I have one of each. These colors here are probably going to end up making up a lot of the truck and a lot of these other blues and stuff in here. So it's going to go pretty fast. You know, I see it very fast. It has to be because the class is only 2 hours. So we're, you know, got to be quick. Okay, I got those. I want to do a couple more greens with this now. I'm going to do alizarin and phthalo green. I say alizarin and phthalo green. Why? Because what I'm looking at is the rocks underneath the table. This area right in here, and her, and the rocks and the shadows. They have a little tinge of green to them, but they also have a little tinge of red to them. And I think just by putting more red into one and more green into the next one, it will really be fine. And these darks up here will definitely fit into any of these pieces of clothing we have here and stuff. So if you ever feel like you're putting too much of the same color in the same spot, you can always switch off from blues to greens and stuff like that. Really easy. Anything else dark wise I need looking at? I got my burnt umber and blue and I don't think I need. I'm going to do a little bit. Yeah, I'm going to do phthalo just because of the trees back there. Phthalo green and just a little bit of burnt umber. And maybe I just did not take much phthalo on that one. I think I can get the trees out of there, and they're going to be not going to be so bright green as they could be. So they'll be kind of interesting. I'll be able to use it somewhere else around in here too. You know, whatever. All right, basically now I'm just going to mix these guys down. I need values, midtones, not many. Midtones, I would say the shirt is probably a great midtone to go for. And that's probably right around a 5. So a lot of these colors are going to go from darks, this dark, to a highlight of 5. And that's it. That's all they get. Maybe a little touch of more color, intense color. That's all. That's all I'm going to give them. That's it. Cut them off. All right. So each one of these is going to take these piles down. Take each pile down. And I'm just going to add just enough white and see if I can get it to about a 5. And when I get things to a 5, if I need an in-between color, it's really easy to get there. This is just slightly dark. So this is phthalo green and Venetian. That's nice. That's a nice. You could see how that could be definitely in these streets, right? I think this next color, both these two colors, definitely could be the lines in the street. This one has a little more green in it. Just probably a touch too much green. It's a little rich. Not by much. So if I touch just a scratch of tad red into it, just to gray it out just a little bit. The phthalo is just shooting through here so strong. It's strong in that one. The phthalo's strong in that one. Okay. Now these ones, these are going to be cool. These are going to be nice. These are burnt umber and blues. They just make such beautiful grays. And right away, when you start putting this in, I can start seeing clothes colors pop out of the painting of this is the highlight. This one, I think if I take it all the way down, when I take it all the way down, definitely it can be in a lot of the street as the creases in the street, the rocks, bricks and stuff. But definitely it's going to be in here. Could be definitely into her dress and things like that. Probably a little bit brighter than that, but also I have another way. These guys are all going to be kicked up one more step. These are the sweeter ones. These are blues and alizarin or rose madder if you are a thing. Very, this is just one of those colors that's going to be around more as accent colors and stuff. You're going to find it in her bag things. You're going to might be find it on this shirt, a little bit in this shirt. You might find it in the crease of clothes up there. Not a huge player, but sometimes it's better than white for highlights and things. It's just it has color, and it's really good to look for. Okay, so this is another blue. Definitely you can start seeing where the blues are starting to come out of. Just a little bit of play, and you're going to be getting a little bit of blue out of everything. Probably could be a little bit. I'm going to go for value right now, and then I'm going to go back, and when I do figure out where I'm going to put it, where it's going to be put, it'll be a little thing about just adding a little phthalo green to this color. I don't want to wipe it out yet. I just want to keep going. Now this is an interesting color. Phthalo green and alizarin. Just another beautiful gray. You can go with almost any of these other grays. These are warmer. That's a cool one. Definitely could fit underneath that table. You know, after you put all these other darks in underneath that table, you put something like this in here that's going to be like your highlight of the bricks that are in the shadow. That's going to be gorgeous. It's going to be a few other places in some of the clothes. It could be in the window of this guy back in here. You know, this is the red version of it. Ah, look at that. That's a beauty. That's another. Look at that purple. That's a nice grayed out purple. Doesn't, scream at you. Doesn't do too much, Definitely could be in these clothes. Or it could be on the guys. It could be on her, Could be. That's the great thing about this palette is everything can work together so simply.
Jim, what's underneath that purple? I mean, what was the basis of that? Was that blue
This purple
and
here?
alizarin? Was that
Yeah, this
Are
is
those-
phthalo green and alizarin.
okay?
This over here, these are blue and alizarin.
Okay.
These are phthalo green and alizarin. And then I came back to phthalo green here and burnt umber. Okay. All right. I mean, I can pretty much get pretty much everything I need now. I know where I'm going to go. All these guys, these greens here, these two greens here, if I add just a little cad yellow to them, more yellow than that. Oh yeah, transparent yellow is not the best. I didn't see a whole lot of green, so I didn't oh, I got to change this. I can't use this. I grabbed my transparent yellow instead of my bright green, my bright yellow. I said, I'll make it work. And it's close enough. It'll work. Yeah, it's off. It's a little warmer than what's back there, but that's okay. Back there. It's in the back. I probably should make it in blue and white. And blue and that yellow. Because the green's too hot. But I was gonna, like I said, it's gonna eat up all my colors. Yeah, it's cooler. I'm not gonna play with it anymore. So I got those. I said this phthalo green here. This blue here. I was gonna add just a touch of phthalo green to a piece of it. Why? Because I think I can get the truck out of it and just shift it. That's how tight I want these colors to be. I just want to be able to shift them just with a little bit of green, a little bit of warm or something like that. That one's pretty close. I think I took it too far. It just needs to go more blue. Good enough. Now I just cut everything with white one more time. I'm going to cut everything with white one more time. Now I'm going to go to really like a number 2. So it's going to be a lot more white than anything else on all these guys. Some colors I probably don't need it as much. I want to do my greens. But just take a little bit of those colors and bring them in here. I want piles of color. Just number 2, so you can start to see value of it. That's about right. So it is pretty high key. And that's exactly what's out there. So each one of these, just more white, just a little bit of color, bring it in and see what it does. We're probably going to tone our canvas with a warm too. This color here, I was going to nail it. This is burnt umber and blue, and this should really nail the color really close. So I'm going to make just a little bit bigger pile of this. It might need to be just a little warmer, might be a little cooler, but I do have the cool over here. I'm gonna put just a little more burnt umber into it. I want a little bit more warmth. This is a cold brown, burnt umber is your cold brown. I mean, if you wanted to do a warm version, I probably could have done burnt sienna. Would have been a good one for this too. I need that.
So what is that,
A little bit.
Jim?
This is just burnt umber and white. Burnt umber, white, and just a touch of blue came down from these two piles. And I just got to this point here. I go, I like that, but I see it's warmer. And basically it was just a little bit more burnt umber. So I put burnt umber in. So I have a few colors to play with. Try not to waste them. This is alizarin and blue. On the red side, gets to be really high key pink. Sometimes you need a cool to set off a warm too. So maybe you feel like when you get to the street, when you get these high key colors, that maybe, that it's not, we just can't get it bright enough, or you can't get it, you can't get it warm enough. Sometimes putting a cool against a warm will do that. Will make something shift to color across. So these are right here pretty much the van colors, and these are also going to go into certain parts of the thing. These purples here. Let's see what this should be an interesting purple. I should do the green too, because I'm doing a purple right here. It's beautiful. That's really nice. And just a touch of green. Take a touch of these greens, and this is see this yellow it's making up. I'm looking at that for basically going to go for the inside of this area here of the tent, where it's lights reflecting down through it, going with something like this, kind of a little green tinge to it, because on the outside I want to do this section here, I want to keep cool. I want to keep it in a purple. You can definitely see it's one of these purples. And so you put this orange, these greens and stuff together. It's really neat. That's one of the things I liked a lot about it. So here we got a lot of the shadows and street in these colors right here. Here we got a lot of the greens and yellows. We got the trees. You got some of these, some of the booth here. A lot of all the clothes back in there. Maybe I'm not going to pull those out too much. So all we have left is her. Her bag definitely is going to come out as one of these blue greens here. The shirt definitely could be a purplish gray. we have it. The valley. As long as you hit the valley, you can miss on a lot of things. Okay, her color. Like I said, she's kind of orange. She's very warm. And we don't need to do too much. But I'm going to start off with alizarin and in yellow. And I probably might have to get out my cad yellow. I have to get out my cad yellow because that's not going to work. It's cad yellow, alizarin crimson. You know, I'm going to leave this here. I can find some places for it, but I want to do it start again because I want you guys to have a good clean color. The alizarin crimson, cad yellow for her skin. Okay, definitely it's going to be a little bit more orange in a lot of parts. A lot of areas are going to be okay. So this is a good base tone, like a value of probably 6. Yeah, that could be taking care of a lot of her. So basically now we just I need to tint this up, tint it down. So I'm going to take a couple piles of this. I don't need a whole lot. That's why I didn't make huge piles. Definitely one. I need to make more red. So I'm going to go with some, let's try some Venetian into one of these. Venetian's very opaque. And it just destroyed whatever color I put in there. It just like overtook it. So it's not really what I wanted to play with. I'm going to have to come back and put a little more alizarin into it to get the red I want. It just destroyed the yellow. But that's really getting there. That's really close to what I want. This is like the darkest dark red in her. This goes into like shadows of right by the hair, her hairline. You know, it might be her eyeballs. It could be the crease going down between her eyes and the nose coming down. It could be the crease in her armpit or her fingers or stuff like that. That's this color could be. And it's just going to be little scratches of it. It's not going to be a big main color. But also, I'm going to take this color just so I don't need that much pile of it. I just need to take a little bit pile of it. Because when I add just a touch of white to this, whoop, touch of white, and cool it off. I might have to warm that up. I'm not gonna, did not cool off. Oops. When I'm working on little teeny pieces of this, it always just gonna take a little bit less color. I'm just grabbing big chunks of paint and they're shifting them around a little bit. But this is how I would take and just make different skin tone areas for her without adding white yet, except for that one. To the point where I have to add white. And taking little pieces of these piles and adding white. Just a little bit of white. Don't need basically we're going to need some brush strokes. That's starting to come along. You can see this is like all through her arms and stuff. And then I'm going to hit it really hard with highlights, colors. This isn't too bad, but it's not anything strong. Looking for things on her shoulders, or colors on her shoulders, or fingers, or her wrists, her hair. You're gonna find a lot of those colors right up in here. Even this yellow green. You're gonna find that in her hair. You're gonna find these oranges in her hair. So I'm gonna try and take some of these oranges, take them up with yellow. So just pure yellow, just a little bit of color. And get that, let me see, maybe cad red in that. Get these really intense yellow oranges. Just to make things pop. Because I have enough dead colors over here. You need some rich colors to set some things off too. You know, you don't want to paint very much of her with that, but you just want to be able to hit her a couple strands of hair or something like that with that. That's what I want to do. And then just, I need a pink and a light white, and I'm done. Pink, I'm going to go again, just a scratch of Venetian. Don't need much of that. I want it cool. There we go. Just turns a little bit of a pink to it. Then I said a hot one, so just cad yellow and white. That'll go good with that even. I was going to use this. Let me change this one just a little piece to just a little Venetian into it. I want a rich, maybe some cad orange. Could have been ochre and white too. I could have used ochre and white. Yeah. Oh, that's a nice color though. Okay. I can also use this for the buildings back there behind her too. I'm gonna need a cad red out. I'm just gonna steal a little bit of warmth from over here. Just tone that cad red down a little bit. Maybe if I just, basically I'm adding just a little bit of Venetian to it. I didn't want to use it full strength. I really want to keep it kind of really strong. And that'll be, that's going to end up being in her a little bit. If we were going to do that color behind her head, you know, if that was going to be more into her face, this is what the kind of red orange you're going to have to put behind her. I put just a little bit of alizarin into it, but I'd also put cad into it, but mostly this would be on the red alizarin side, you know, to get back in there to push her head out that area. Real rich. Okay, I'm going to go through the colors and try to see where they're going to go. Up here, we started off with phthalo green and Venetian. On the Venetian side, phthalo green side. We added white to them to get them about a 5, or no, did I say 5? Right around a 5. And then white enough to get them up to really close to 2. So it's really a big, long jump in between here. Here I use blue and burnt umber and bringing them down. with some white, and then added some more white, and even added some more burnt umber into this one because I wanted just another couple shifts because I was thinking about the stones. Blue and alizarin here, mostly on the red side, mostly on the blue side, can bring them down. Here I knew I was going to need a little more green for that band back there, so I put some green into a piece of this, leaving the regular pile there, and then brought those guys down a little bit farther. Here we went with phthalo green and alizarin again, bringing those purples down. You get kind of really smoky greens and purples here, and then you bring them down a little bit farther, and you get these guys. That's not one. That is not phthalo green and white. That is just blue and white. I just ran out of space. Anyway, let's just leave it there. Here we went with phthalo green and burnt umber. As you can see, phthalo green just kicks the snot out of burnt umber, so there's not a whole lot of burnt umber in these things when they come down a little bit. Added yellow to them here, trying to get these trees across the street. Thought that these guys are too warm, so I thought I better build it off blue, and that's what I was doing over here. But then that transparent yellow I had there just had no strength to it, and just couldn't move any dark colors at all. It's really a very weak transparent color. Then I decided we're gonna make up the skin tones and some of the other oranges and stuff here. This is just was Venetian and yellow together. This one has more yellow in it than that one. So I was going to start doing skin tones out of that because I was looking for skin tones for her. It might still come into play, but I thought I wanted to start off a little different. So I went back and we did Venetian and yellow here, and mixed it with some white and then more white. Here I added some alizarin to it, trying to get a little bit darker one, and then we added some more white. And then over here, this is just white and just a scratch of Venetian to it. Just did not go really well. Over here, we did some yellow oranges we're going to need. So they're basically yellow, and just brought in a little bit of what did I use? I don't know. I think it must have been yellow and cad yellow and orange, or cad yellow and yeah. Well, this is cad red, and just has just a scratching of alizarin in it, and this is alizarin with just a scratch of cad red in it. Those guys are going to be used for her face and into her face, and in behind. This is going to go behind her. This is going to go in front. We'll see how that works. Doesn't work, we'll redo it. No big deal. So, and then I just have a couple of light yellows here left around. Oh boy, that's the easy part. Now we get to go on to the hard part. Any questions? You guys are too easy. I'm going to bring this in a little bit.
Jim, I have a quick question. It's
Sure.
Lisa. In the reference photo, you see her
Lisa.
right hand. Is she holding something or is that her finger? It's not her finger.
I think
right?
it's her finger on her phone.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. What are we gonna do with
Yeah,
that?
I think she's probably taking a picture of it to send somebody and see if they're interested.
Okay.
It's up to them. I'm going, but that's the way it's fun, they reuse everything over there. So they keep reusing it. So it was pretty cool. All right. I will call out my colors. So I'm going to tint this with burnt umber. I don't know why. I'm going to tint it warm. And like I said, burnt umber will dry. Everything will be dry. This would be a good thing to know for like if you for workshops. If you're going across the seas and doing workshop, burnt umber would help be like a natural dryer and help your paints dry nice quickly and stuff and natural. You wouldn't have to use that awful dryer that's in there. Just thinking out of the box, you know. So thinking about a little more burnt umber in your things might be a good idea. As long as you're not painting heavily with it on canvas and stuff like that. And if you're painting on stretch canvas and stuff, make sure it gets in a museum. You don't have to worry about it cracking. We'll take care of it. If it cracks, who cares? They'll fix it. We won't be around. Anyway, I said, working this thing out a little bit, design wise, trying to get in front of it, knowing where things are. Like I said about this square here, it being a nice key to the painting here. It's not a quarter, not really a quarter, but it's just over not a third. And so that is right about right. Okay, so that distance there I can use to pretty much do everything else. Get her in the right position. She's sort of leaning back a hair. So this distance is like now let's get this width. Do a box. Measure. Do another box. That's where her head is? No way. No way, I messed up my box. My box needs to be bigger. Try that one. Yeah, that's a lot closer. Okay. That's where her head's going to end up. Take this in. I'm going to take it in a little bit on this side. Take it in a little bit on this side. Yeah, it doesn't make sense. Their hand's kind of a weird thing there. You know. It's just laying it out. I'll try to get it done fast here. People are not easy to quit and to lay out very quickly. They're going to take a while. A lot of hair I gave her. Get rid of a little bit of this so I can see the drawing a little bit better. If that finger really tips in. Interesting though. Somehow I get the shoulder back there. I don't know how you're going to get that back there. Basically, just get that angle of her head just tilted down just a touch more. Yeah, that helps. No, dude. Okay, well, that tells me everything I need to know there, pretty much. You could also, do a lot of graphing and stuff. You could graph this out and probably save yourself a lot of time. And then finding that. Is that she was it. She was going to be the toughest thing. And yeah, I'll figure her out. Close, gap, leave gaps in between clothes. It keeps them from being too heavy, for you can get a little bit of something in between here. And you got one big one here. I kind of like the big one on the outside here. The suit, more of a suit coat thing here. You know, kind of gives it, fills in this area, keeps us, if there's a nice stop in the painting. I'm just gonna relay this out then. Kind of just missed those guys, so. Okay. And then the clothes come in here right about, yeah, right about there. Gonna be a little bit off, but the thing is, it's clothing like this, piles of it. No one's gonna look that close to it if you're, you know, hey, that's the size medium and you have it in an extra large. You know, you don't have to worry about that stuff. So pile of clothes here. Like I said, just I'm gonna pick out like the blue one, the bright blue one right here. I'm gonna pick out the light one, basically where that goes here, and there's one right in here, right? Now I'm gonna start looking for light around her. Get her dress right. It's just I hear more room in between here. See how I see if my light is where I want it, you know, the brightness. This little diamond right here of light. That's in the right, you know, getting that in the right spot. Always little measurement things I look for. Shadow underneath here. Has that light right in here. Coming right up to her dress, gonna push her dress out. Shadow. And the feet, you know, again, one of those things you don't really care about looking at. So, not a big deal. Okay. Drawing wise, yeah, it's good. Not too bad. Off, going to be off a little bit. I'm going to use like this box this guy has here in just a, you know, you have something on the side here, you know, just a little, so it's not all brickwork right there. Judging where everything is, like we said, we're going to move the cone back if you want, or not even put it in. I think, you know, just a hint of light back there is fine. You know, got the green trees and windows back down the building, and this coming down right. All right. You guys can see it all right there. See, look at how beautiful that is. Okay, I got my drawing in. I'm probably just gonna I'm gonna, just for you guys, give you guys a few minutes here. You have to finish your drawings. I'm gonna go in and just peel out some light. Or I'm thinking more. I did not put in a red and yellow banners up top. But if I did, you know, be fine. All right. I think I can go work with that. I have everything kind of pushed over. I mean, one of the things I've been doing lately is making people a little too squatty. So let's see if this worked, you know, a little solution of really watching your drawing a little bit, you know, make sure that things work out a little bit better. So I'm gonna go with my darks first. I'm gonna paint these coats, in fact, with them. So a little phthalo green and red here. Also, I was gonna paint her dress. There's a little spot here on her dress in between the shirts. I wanted to get that in. Why do I want to get that in? I don't know. I just like one of those things, you know. That little, I'm not going to put any more green in. Don't do that. Why? Because I'm just thinking, oh yeah, phthalo green and skin, you know how good that works, you know, for us. So, you know, it gets on your skin and you can't get it off. So, but let's just leave it there. Just put it underneath here. Just a few little spots here. That little triangle of line here between separating the shirt and the bag and stuff. So this is a phthalo green and Venetian. I'm gonna put it. I could start it in right here. There's a couple little things right in here. This one, there's a one square one here. I see that is a little warm. That's good. You know, there's a pair of pants in here. I could put it in and a little corner of one right here. Just look for shapes. Painting a couple shapes in. And they can be phthalo green. I can go on the red side now. I'm going to put a coat back in here, a couple coats in here, right by where her hand is. Put this shape in. Keep it simple, really simple little thing, a little noogie for a armhole, I think. Okay. Like I said, I'm just going to keep these guys really dark. You know, and if you can give any of these, you know, clothes a little character, you know, just like something, you know, do it, go with it. Definitely going to put a little bit of the red green. This is Venetian and green, but it's on the Venetian side. I'm going to put that underneath this table here for now. And let it thin out. I'm just putting it heavy in this bottom area underneath where that orange right here, where the right there where that orange thing's gonna go. Yeah, I'm even touching that up. I just definitely don't want that orange thing to stripes to come out and stand out. So just putting a little green in it like that right off the bat underneath will make that green a lot, give that green give that orange a lot harder chance to come through here. Again, I'm putting in the greens here too a little bit. Okay. All right, next colors, my blues and my blues and my burnt umbers. Definitely, I'm just going to go right to the blues and stuff and bring those guys into this area too. Let the green and red right in front, and then just use the blue to drift off a little bit into the shadow here. So this is burnt umber and blue. No white yet. And same over here. Now I'll look through here and go, okay, well, I got this color, let's find a few spots here. I know I got a blue one here. There's a coat here that's hanging, or a sweatshirt of some sort that's hanging. It's a little more dark. Just really just looking at these things and trying to pick out warms and cools. What's a kind of a, playing them off each other. And that's all you have to do. You don't have to go very far. It can be a lot of, there's a little bit of purples and stuff in there. It's fun. So I'm going to look for some more spots for that. Probably in some of these other clothes here. In the top area here. And like I said, just I'm painting the basic shape. And I'm going to come back and really hit the highlight, which is basically a mid-tone. Not like a big anything. This is the stuff that takes a little bit of time, just this beginning area here, start getting your dark set up. And that's the way they just have a little bit of separation between warm and cool. And that's about it. Everything else there, no. I'm going to go back and, go to my alizarin and blue now and start painting this van behind her head. And I'm not going to worry about the people. I'm just going to get this dark shape going in here. A little darker than I need. I'll lighten it up as we on the next stage. So this is basically blue and a little bit of alizarin in it. And I'll be able to pull the people out of this color too. I mean, the touch and should be able to pull everything out of here. Look and see if now over here, if I can put it in there. And yeah, it goes in a lot of places. Like I want to put that also thinking about like that bright blue. It's not bright, but compare everything else around it. It's bright, kind of a, bluish thing on the table there, clothes wise. Don't know what kind it is. Don't know what it is. Not too interested. Now, I'm also going to keep it, see, just by touching all that stuff now, just the oil in that color just thinned it out so much. That's I touched a few green things over here and just kind of took my there. Well, it's pretty close to what I could use for the windows on this van. You know, little dark yet, but you know, hey, it's okay. I'm going to go with some of these phthalo greens and alizarans, and these are just the dark colors and stuff. And so basically, I have now just gotten all the clothes done, at least the shape going in here, making sure they come down enough just to wrap around her a little bit, and just get that, her hand on that shirt, or it's going to be probably going to push that a little bit too far that time. Okay, I'm going to go with just move on. I don't really have any other colors left here. These are some of the green and burnt umbers. And I'm going to use those guys. This is the burnt umber because I could have a little bit of that. Use it on this front coat here a little bit. Catch that arm, catch the thing here. A little bit of highlight will help. Everything else. Now you can start to see the light pattern that's going on. Probably get a little bit of guy showing through here. A lot of the times when it gets this dark, we're working this dark, a lot of these colors aren't going to show up either. You just got to trust that they're there, that they're doing you put them in the right spot and everything's going to go right. Okay. The hard part's over. Well, you guys believe that. Let me see. I'm going to see wiping my brush out, see how dark it is. I hate going to. Okay, it's good. I'm going to go down to these midtones and start working on the shadow here. This is just going to be phthalo green and Venetian mix. This is on the red side with white in it, probably to about a number 5. Yeah, okay. And just bring it in really slow.
Which pile did you pull from there, Jim?
I used Venetian and green and white at number 5. And I'm putting it in here and I'm going, oh man, it's going to take a little time. It could take time to go in here and leave some of these bricks. But if you do, it could be really cool. Going from, that's and the nice thing is, okay, just shifting colors from one row to the next. This row being a little red, this one being on the green side with just number 5 in white added to these things. It's a nice effect. Just trying to leave the negative color in here. Let me see if it works over here on this side. But the problem is, yeah, you got these things all got to meet up at the end, perfectly. No, just leave that line a little bit. Yeah. And if it doesn't go, just come back and push your finger into it. That's the smart thing. I should have just said, hey, just use your finger. It would have been a great way to go. Probably saved a lot of time instead of trying to figure this out, going like this. Anyway, that worked out pretty well. That's a nice effect. That really is. You know, and if I get a few more over in here, it's just dots over here, keeping the information in only in a few spots necessary to make everything else work. Wish I would have not went so heavy with this color here though, but oh well. So that's starting to create the brick pattern just by not painting. I mean, having that dark underneath there and been just putting a few squares around it. All right, the next color, I'm going to be doing that same thing. I'm going to keep it up, keep it up, keep it up. It's going to be this burnt umber and blue, but it's on the burnt umber side. And I saw it as like, you know, a few spots here underneath or, you know, starting right about here and working its way back. I saw this light coming through here. So I'm just going to paint that back a little bit. Maybe I have to bring her dress down. Well, that's where I am. I'm sorry. Got in the wrong spot. Even I get lost in my own paintings. You guys look at it and go, what the hell? What are you painting? I'm just painting shapes. I'm going to bring this back down too. I can see it down in some of these greens down in here. This is like one of those things you do, but probably too early to do it. So I'm going to tone a little bit more of the painting with this color too. This is burnt umber in blue on the burnt umber side. I think I can take this back in this area. I'm going to brighten this up really bright. And I probably have enough burnt umber in that color. I shouldn't be needing to do this, but I just want to straighten out some drawing things too as I go. Where those legs, feet go in here too. Well, you have to cut those guys out too. Okay. Good. Keep going. Let's see this purple here. I was just looking at this purple here for this top of this awning here. Start with that in there. It's kind of a purple yet. But then I'm going to come back and put some other colors into it. But nice to get that really strong color in there. And now I can use this here, start finding out. Edge of the shirt can be that, or just a few things here. Just a edge of a sleeve here on the coat. Just an arc coming down, dying off. Edge of a coat edge right next to it. Slight blend. That's all these guys get is just a little bit of love. It's just give a little bit of information and that's it. All right, good enough. I'm gonna gray that off in between those guys. Um, where's the blue coat goes in here. So, okay. I didn't put this yellowish color in here yet. That came from that phthalo, that green and yellow and white with just a little bit of orange in it. So I was going to make this kind of this green white here too. I'm gonna add that in here too a little bit. That really brings some light into it in the front here. A little bit early to be putting whites in, but that's this painting. This painting is nothing but darks and lights. So we already have the darks in. Really, there's only the light colors coming in. I just don't want to push it too fast. There's really no choice here. Yeah. Oh, I lost her. Where'd she go? I said. Just trying to block some things in quickly. With these browns and reds and greens. So this goes above the plane, above this up here, just filling it in, trying to get it going, bring the green down to her head. Like I said, we're gonna take the guy out of there. He doesn't need to be in there. So that can come down a little bit farther. Not sure why I put that in there. Don't know. Just trying to get things blocked in pretty quickly before I can start to show you guys the painting before it, classes up. I'm gonna get this orange in. All right, just getting the idea of some of these oranges in here. Gonna have to be some more work there. I think there's gonna be a lot of like skin tones left over that are probably gonna fit in there pretty well. Everything else is just pretty much pretty high key. I'm just trying to get in a few of these midtones here. finish off these areas. All right, let me just do a few things on the colors on the regular close down in here. Basically just treat them as just shapes, nothing too fancy, nothing too crazy. You know, see how close you can get. Okay, probably going to need a little bit smaller brush, probably a nice synthetic though. And then get this white stripe leading in, just with some twists. Very blue. Light blues. So I'm going to basically have this spot here. So I start there and just twist my brush all the way and then open it up and then twist it down. So it mimics the idea of that and then come back in and just put in a few other little things. The blue I'm using there, I just came down just instead of, it has basically the blue I was going to paint for this guy back in here. But I saw it in here and go, that's really a lot bluer than I was thinking. You know, I was thinking it's going to be gray and stuff, but then I'm going to come back in with a couple of pinks, purples and stuff. Maybe some purples here. This light high key one down in here. And that's about it for that, you know, those clothes. And I just got to fill in the round, go back in and then the rest. I think of my heat. Put some yellow whites on these highlights. Some of those I mixed up. These really kind of high key ones. We mixed up at the end. Keep that bright too. Okay. All right, that takes me right into the street. Just keeps me going. Just what you want to know. Takes you right to the street and the gutter. You know, I need more white. Yeah, I do. Anyway, I'm going to paint these things in behind her real quick. No, I'm going to paint. Sorry, not going to do that. I'm going to, that stuff can take care of itself really quickly. Sometimes you see a stroke and you just want to do the stroke so badly, you kind of, you know, because you saw the stroke and you know, oh, it's going to be a great stroke. And let's get going on her. So I'm going to start off with some of the real dark reds I made. This is Venetian and yellow. Just a little bit of a thing in it, and I'm going to put it in right on her where I think her hairline is going to be. In fact, I'm going to paint her whole face almost with this color. Bring out her nose. Yeah, this is supposed to be on people, and the last of this will be all on people. So I'm going to put in the warms, reds, and dark reds in first. Like looking around her neck. In that line here in the middle. Since she's rim lighted here, you know, there's going to be light coming in from around behind and stuff. So I'm going to get that, and I'm going to go a little warmer to her shoulder. Might have gone a little too far here. More angle here. So I'm going to use it just in her forearm, and so her head's just slightly right now a little cooler than I want to use just a touch of green, I think, in the skin in the front. Also going to darken in her hair. Let me use a phthalo green and alizarin. Not alizarin. Sorry. Venetian. That's just a little green tint to it, but it also has some red to it. I'm going to push some red right at the top of her head. This is just the hair underneath. And all this color will be obliterated a little bit when you get to the next one. Which is working. Looks obliterated. Oh my God, what did I do? I think her shoulder goes up a little higher. Just a hair higher. Just going to take a little. This is the thing about when you do people, they're always just a little bit, they're tough to do, because everybody knows what what a person looks like, and just takes a little bit longer. But I was going to also try and show you that, basically we don't have to make everything that be perfect. You do go for big stuff and let the little stuff, go away. So I'm working some cad red into her bangs here, where her bangs are going to be up here. Putting that in, and it's going to go into her forehead a little bit. And start looking that and into her cheekbones. I'm just going to lighten her up. Like I said, how dark she was. You can't light her up with white. You have to lighten her up with yellows and oranges and stuff because they're gonna lighten up, but not whiten it up. So that's what I'm looking at. And looking at that going, okay, well, that red's also a lot of reflective color coming in. And it's right there in her neck, the front of her neck here. Could be from this orange down here, this strength of this orange thing here. Definitely could be there. And I see stuff, I just gotta put it in real quick. But you know, hopefully we got at least some of the drawing right. That nose a little bit stronger red, maybe. I said I was going to put this cool red behind her, like a thing here. Well, I'm going to do it because I said I was going to do it. You know, start to shape her face out this color. That will be fine. You can see she stands out pretty well. Bring that down right into that where she's holding that shirt. And you can start to work it in a few other places. I'm gonna leave that like that for now. Highlights are going to be the key to probably to really knocking this thing out. I'm gonna look for a kind of gray that I think darker kind of gray that's going in the shirt here. I'm going to go for the mid-tone of it, and then I'm going to go the highlight. And I might only have to go to like a slight little change in the highlight to have it done. So everything gets like 2, 3 colors. No, not like doing a portrait where you have to put lots of colors in one little spot. And I'll look, see what's around and see how it goes. This color also, I'm going to tone it down, maybe go to the blue version of it for her bag. Again, a lot of transparency is happening in here in this bag. So I'm just going to keep it kind of thin. Let it go. Let the lights just do all their work. I'm using a kind of a warm purple for the shadows in her dress here, this lower part of the fabric. I'll be using that probably up here to the top too. Kind of a red, that would be a phthalo green and alizarin purple there I'm using there. This one was, wow, that was just burnt umber in blue right here. This shirt. That's gonna be neat. I always want to get all this stuff done. And it's just look for everything in strokes. Hitting a couple highlights in her hair here just to get going. Oh, that was wrong direction. It came back quicker. A little bit too big a brush to be doing all that. I'm going to switch down to a smaller synthetic. And just start hitting highlights. We get the highlights on her shoulder. That's going to be one of the hottest ones. Has a little bit of yellow in it. So I missed the top pretty badly. I just want to get the highlights now. Go through and just see if I can bring this out. use the van here back in here to start pushing her head around. Using those light blues and made up in the whites. Couple breaks. I got that dark back in there, nice, really dark. And just by starting my paint in the heavy areas where it needs to be opaque, and then just lightening up the stroke as I come down, and create all the stuff that's in here. Right. Gonna put her eyeballs in and little things. Just gonna put in little dots, little lines. They need to be kind of dark red, warm. Gonna put just a little bit of orange into her skin to warm her up underneath here to start popping her out of here. And get that to be an iPhone or something like that. I'm just gonna make sure it's reflecting a color. Like warm, there's some warm that, it's reflecting maybe two colors, a little bit of coolness, but then maybe on the edge, just a little warmth where the sun's hitting it. A little yellow white here. Something like that will help. And then come back in and just finish putting her hand in, right? Right underneath her nose, maybe just a little bit of orange. Like that. A little bit, there's going to be a lot to do on this, but, coming pretty quick, to tell you the truth. Because now I got all these reds in here. Now I just got to really just grab the cheekbone over here and warm it up just with adding just a little bit of orange, light orange into that where the bone is right there at the cheek. That'll work out. And just a little more red up here on her forehead. Push that eye a little smaller. Give her the right haircut would be nice. Would be nice. That means I got to bring some more light back into that spot. Okay. Going to be a work in progress. Now I can put on that, like I was talking about earlier, I was starting to, right off the bat, I was putting a phthalo green in this area. I put it in too early. I would have never got to be able to get this color in there. And I would never, that's the thing too. It's just like one of those colors, you just want to make sure you put it in once. You don't put it in too many times. I'll use it here to catch that edge. Or belt in. Or not a belt, but something. And the rest for dress. Gotta get the. Oh, I didn't put in her feet yet. Oh man, that'll be fun. What am I doing there? I lost my way. I putting that in there, and that doesn't go there. Lost her. Lost it. What is it here? Well, I'm gonna put her feet in real quick. I mean, really, this one's almost cad red, almost kind of a dark, really dark color. So I'm just gonna paint it basically almost a little cad red with a little uh, alizarin in it, really orange. Gonna start off the other one just the same way, coming down from here. Then I'm gonna go to greens and grays before we get to the highlight. Well, it's pretty sad so far. I would say, yeah, pretty sad. Okay, give me 5 strokes to see if I can fix it. Go back. Now I'm just going to put in the back lights back there and cut her right out. Use these. Use the light to do the shaping. That's just burnt sienna or burnt umber and a little bit of blue, but mostly white and burnt umber. These bricks down here in the front. I'll come back in and probably have to, I'm gonna have to, I tried to, get these guys to work. I didn't have too much work, trying to, not a big deal, but just like one of those things you like to do right. Just pushing a finger in like that. Got to do while it's wet. Okay, a little quicker. See, she just starts to come out of this area here pretty quickly when you start. And this is what I was saying about the background in here. Don't overpaint it. Let some of this blending and stuff here go through. Don't try to make it too smooth. Keep it kind of real rough. It'll work. Just highlights here. I don't know what this guy's doing, but we're putting other people in there, push a few things around, and okay, that's about it. I mean, not it, but about as far as I can, go. Can be very impressionistic. she needs a little bit of loving yet. Figured it out. I have all the paint here, so I should be able to figure it out halfway decent. So let's see what everybody's doing. I'll bring you in for a close up and see who hates Susan now. See, Susan, I'm not taking any blame.
Come
I did pick
on.
it up. I did pick it out. But I do think it needs these little banners up there, the real red banners up there, a few more colors and stuff. But it's getting there. So we'll bring it in. You can sort of see her face. Not a whole lot of detail. Even with the clothes back there, you can see there. It's nothing impressive about it. Same with the truck. Same with the grass. Nothing impressive. You know, it's just one of those things. It's just like it holds together because it feels like it's been painted by the same brush, and so it starts to hold together when you get really nail in those highlights and against those darks. You start to see the colors, and you put in those darks, and that's the important thing. You put these colors in there because you knew the next step they were going to come out. And they kept pretty subtle. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of little details you want to, not details, more scratches and stuff I want to put in. So who we got? Kathleen's up. Did you paint?
Yeah, I'm trying to flip my camera around and not working. Oh,
What do you
There, I
want? You want to go to?
yeah, go
We
to
got
somebody
Kim
else and
next.
work on it.
All right, we got Kim. Kim's ready to go.
All right.
Hi,
I'll
Kim.
flip. Hi.
Yay. I'm gonna.
Tell me when you can see it. Mhm.
There we go. Ooh, nice.
Can you see the whole thing? Or am I in
I
too
can't
close?
see the whole thing, but I can see that you have it blocked
What
in
the
pretty
heck?
strongly.
How far back do I need to go here?
There
Here,
you go.
maybe if I go
Yeah,
like
if you-
that. Yeah, that's the way.
There you go. You know, you can see the whole thing. Yeah, it's a vertical painting, so it works like that.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, when you get the lights in really strong, really and stuff, the drawing looks good. She looks in pretty, in the right spot. The oranges could be, it's just gonna have it's we got a long ways to go yet and stuff,
Yep.
but you got it blocked in. What's your concerns?
No, that cobblestone thing, like we started it in that bottom under her feet and it looked pretty good. And to do that all the way through is gonna be pathetic, really. It's gonna take away from her. So I'm tempted to brush it out before it dries. I don't know.
Let's see closer on that. Can you come
Can you-
just a little closer? You can see that part?
It's hard with the light in here.
Yeah. Just tear down, turn down. Okay.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
like the
you
little
brushed them
section
out
looks
already. It looks
good.
like.
but I don't know then what else to do with the rest of it.
Okay.
I'll think about it.
Yeah. It's a really intense. Really that light that is the key thing. Mine's still too dark. I'm
Yeah,
gonna push
yeah,
it more white.
it needs
A lot of
light
times,
will go over it.
yeah.
yeah.
When you get to this point, when you get up there, it's almost have to use pure white into
Mhm.
the color. You wet colors and push it and lighten them up too.
Right.
So don't be afraid to do that if you have to, get it really stepped up. Just the way it is. But I think everything's right there. It's just the drawing's good. You got some nice clothes there. I think your clothes are almost too nice. No, I'd be shopping there.
Well, it looks like you were,
Anyway,
in fact.
I probably
Right, good.
do. I probably do. All right. Good job. Let's go to Shar. Hey,
Okay.
Shar.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, how you doing? Oh, you painted. What
Okay.
size you
Well,
paint, Shar?
I tried a different light. It's still not working. Hang on. Let's see if maybe tipping. Nope, too bright. I'm
Well, lean
trying
it
to
back
figure
like
out
you
my
do right there.
lighting.
Lean it back and it's fine. Back towards
Oh.
you. Right there is perfect. Right there is really nice.
Yeah, I
Wow,
think the
nice
draw. I'm
capture
okay
on
with the
her.
drawing. It needs work.
Yeah, it needs work. That's okay, but you got the gist of it. I mean, she feels, she feels like she's backlit. She has the strength there. She has the right haircut. Um, you know, and it's coming along really good. That's gonna be fun. I think it's gonna be a fun one. It's just one of those things. Just don't have to, you know, pop her out and make her look pretty or anything like that because of we don't know her and she's not supposed to be like that. She's just, nonchalantly ran into her type thing. Good. I think I would say definitely beef up the blues in the car, the truck back there when you get to it,
Okay.
and that'll help. And then see if you can get through the clothes a little bit to see through, a little lighter spots, patches, and then
Okay.
the bright blue, the bluer coat in the middle there will help also open up that area.
Okay.
But otherwise, that's really great. Yeah, and that's
Okay.
one of my little things I would say to work on.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
those are you're going to catch anyway. You
Yeah.
probably got a lot of it in there. Yeah, it looks great. I think the way it's moving, muddling together is really nice.
Okay. Great.
Yeah,
Yeah, your
Thank
lights
you.
look great.
kind of fun. Okay, now I heard Kathleen say something, so she's up.
Yeah,
Let's see. Susan, you better be painted today.
I
Who the
did.
heck is this? Who did you paint?
me.
You painted a fashion model. We weren't painting fashion models.
Well, the color is really bad, but I'm
Really?
working on it.
Oh, it's really bad, but in a really cool way. I think
Yeah,
you get the clothes in there, that the darks of the clothes in there and stuff, really gonna, you know, give her something to play against.
yeah, it's got a long ways to go yet. I'm
Oh
trying to
yeah.
work on the cobblestone, and I think I got what you meant about putting your dark in and then putting a light square over it. Is that kind of how you're approaching it?
And then yeah. And you don't even
Yeah.
have to be that precise. That's the thing is
Yeah,
you just kind of go drifting in a pattern going backwards and stuff, and just shifting the rocks after each other, just for a little bit. Don't do it too much because it will become too big of a takeaway. But you're doing it. That's the right way to go. You're going.
Okay.
I mean, after you get right up to her, a little bit past her dress, top or bottom of her dress, then I wouldn't see any of
Sure.
that stuff. It'd be pretty much just
highlight like
brush strokes, clean highlights, and just a little shift of the color in there, and that's all it is.
okay.
Good shirt, good t-shirt too.
Oh,
Bags
well,
looking
thanks.
good. Her hairstyle's nice. You did a nice job on her hairstyle.
Well, that's
I
important.
need to work on that hairstyle stuff.
Okay.
Good job.
I'm not quite sure what to do with the highlight, where the sun's hitting the front of her face, but just put it in really light.
I'm going pretty strong with that light, at least
Light
right in the
yellow.
part coming down, and then you get, because it kind of just comes down because you
Yeah.
keep her head so orange, it just pops her head out of that area, because there's darks around her and her head's kind of dark, but just that hair, using the brightness of the hair to lighten up her, at least to mark off where her forehead and everything is.
Right.
Really cuts her out of that area.
Are you gonna turn that red part into a guy then?
No, he's nothing. He's out of the picture. I cut him out.
Well, what do you do?
No, he
Make it
didn't,
look
you
like
know,
a
he wasn't
shirt.
like a needed thing. Huh?
I just have to have a
I
reason
just
to
got
have it there.
that
know what I
red
mean?
there.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
Can you
It's a
turn it
coat.
into a
It's
shirt or
basically
something?
that's all it is a coat sitting
Oh.
there, you know, just like the other coats on the other side. Just happens to be red. It could be like we were talking about. If you're having problems with it or head popping out of that, it could be purple. It could be black. It could be, you know, it doesn't. Hey, it just has to be a dark color. You could go. You
Okay.
could make it go that way too, and it would just work just as good.
Okay. I'll see what I can do.
Okay.
Thanks, James.
Yeah, yeah. That's just one of those little areas you don't have to worry too much about. I don't think.
Okay. Well,
All
we'll
right.
see what happens.
All right, Susan.
Okay.
Come on, you gonna turn your video on?
Oh, sorry. Hold on.
Gosh, Susan.
Sorry.
All right.
So
No, Susan, that's not good. Not
I-
good enough, Susan.
I'm dangerously
There she
close
is.
to this dropping. Hold on a minute.
Uh-oh. Take your time.
Ay. Okay. So I have to say, when I saw this, I was so overwhelmed. Look at my face.
I was overwhelmed.
I was overwhelmed. So I did my own like attempt at pre-mixing, and I was captivated with the cobalt blue in it. So I did the mirror mixing as well, but I went in a rabbit hole with the cobalt blue. You can't see this.
Wow.
I don't know if you can see it. I haven't even started the lady.
Wow. I know, but that's exciting looking. I like that a lot already.
So I
Wow.
don't.
I mean, it has a lot of energy. It has energy.
So I
Real
went.
nice energy.
I definitely went into a rabbit hole with all that fabric on the side there, but I'll get to her.
No, that's okay. That's fine. It reads really well. I mean, I wouldn't say you got to put a little bit of work on it, but I mean, it's not like I'd go any farther. Everything else is just, just drift towards her as you paint.
Right.
Make sure you finish up on her. She's the center point. That's
Right.
really all it is.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I like it. I really like it a lot. I think even where you pulled out the colors and the lights and stuff, really show how
Really
impactful
see,
and
it's
strong.
it's much more blue than it's reading, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't get it. Oh,
Even blue, it's nice either way, green or blue. I like just because of the way you pulled out the lights. It looks great. I mean, it's solid already.
well, I'll keep going. I'll keep
Definitely
going.
keep going. I
Yeah,
think
I
that's
like
a
the
winner.
blue too.
Yeah,
Thanks.
yeah. I might
We'll
like
see
it.
if
I might like it
I
better
have to
on mine,
watch the
too.
video now. Well, now I have to watch the video about how you did all her face and skin. I didn't even try it because I thought I gotta watch your video. I just left her out for now.
Yeah. Okay. It's a lot of
am so
orange.
interested. Yeah, because I'm so interested. I love the idea of doing portraits, but I'm just afraid,
We'll work on them some more. They're just very hard to do in a class like this. It's one of those ones you
sure.
got to be hands on.
Mhm.
So I always have a little trouble with that. Nice job though, Susan. I look really
Yeah.
great. Eva,
Thank
did you paint? Lisa P, turn your
Yes,
stuff
I
on.
did. Yes, I did.
Okay, here comes Eva. What'd you do?
Wow.
Ooh, another good one. See, you guys. That's gonna work out, Eva. This is right up your alley. See,
Little.
you have the same haircut as her. You guys are twins.
Well, 50 years ago. Well,
Yeah, well, hey. Really good job on the separation of darks and lights. Nice way to get the the straight pushing or cutting her out. Really great. The cars and everything, and you You got a lot of the stuff in. You got a nice block in going here, girl. Now it's just going in and tightening up her up a little bit, darkening up her skin, her face a little bit more, you know, popping out those highlights. Yeah, you got them in there. You got the highlights in there. But I still think
you
you
have
should
to
probably
flash
go
doesn't really show.
how dark she is.
Yeah.
Okay.
What
Well, her
about
hair's too blonde, but you know.
okay. What about that purple roof? It is kind of purple, but it's kind of flat.
What's that? The root, the tent?
Yeah, the 10.
Oh yeah, you could, you know, put some color into that. I would definitely put some yellows and look for the there's some oranges in there and some greens a
Yeah.
little bit, you know, in that purple, but and then maybe darkening in you know, just getting through the clothes maze there, just getting a little bit of shafts of light where you can see beyond it will help a lot. I mean, you just started that, so you can start seeing underneath. You just need to get to break the whole line that's going across there. So just a little bit more air in. It's just a barely a hair of a brush stroke. Okay, it's not much. That's, you know, there's not much to say yet. I mean, it's really nice. You orange your colors, your on the oranges and stuff are holding up really well. It's gonna be fun to see how you handle the cobblestones. You like detail. You should do really kind of have some fun with that. Just
Yeah, well, not
any
too much.
no detail on the road beyond the bag. Okay, bag on up, nothing. Down below, you can have just a little bit of lines. The below her dress, that's where you can put the cobblestones in. You know, just have the things go get the steps going across it. That's all you got to do. Don't do too much more after that.
Okay.
Yeah, and good cuts to the coats too. Like nice fit there, I think. I don't know. It looks good so far. It looks really great.
Okay.
Anything? Okay, what's your problems with it?
I don't know. I mean, I'm surprised because I was almost so intimidated with this that I wanted to skip it, but it's
Well, you don't learn if you skip things. I mean, yeah, if it's hard, this will help everything else. People are tough. They're hardest thing to do. You do a good person, and you know everything's open to painting after that. So you're doing well. You're doing really well on her.
okay.
You know, give me a photo of it and stuff and let's see what it looks like that way too.
Okay, thanks.
Great, good job.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Let's see, Jane, did you paint? Lisa P. That's it. I had people dive off. Lisa P. We'll go to Lisa.
I painted. Hold on a minute.
Lisa painted. Jane didn't paint. She's just sleeping again at the wheel.
It's all glare.
Ooh. Yeah, I got glare, but you really went for that red in her face. Good job. That's a tough one to, you know, it's always scary to put so much red into skin like that. And you know, it takes a little guts to do it. You know, somebody needs to talk to Ava about that. You gotta have guts. You gotta put it in there. Yeah, it's in fact you're gonna find out there's still probably just a little bit stronger, deeper red yet going into the like very edge of the hair and probably her, I used it also for her putting in her her eyelash, type thing, not giving any much detail there. And then just finding the creases in her skin, where her cheek and nose meet. And
yeah, I haven't done anything with her face. Nothing with the face, nothing with the cobbles. The coats were fun.
Coats look good. Those look like, you could be right there at the nurse's
Macy's
place doing the selling those clothes. Okay, behind her, what's behind her? That's the
Who knows? I haven't
part-
worked
that's
on
the
it yet.
great thing. Okay,
Eventually
I
there'll
was
be
gonna
a
say that
truck back
looks
there.
that'll be that blue truck. Looks
Yeah,
like a big
eventually.
roll of fabric rolling down there onto the table.
Yeah.
Good job on the stuff on the table too. That's gonna look really cool. That's exciting to see you paint something like this and stuff. So I want just keep going, fill it in. I think it's gonna be really neat. Okay, I think we lost her. She's not talking back to me anymore. I don't blame her. Yeah. Okay, did I miss anybody? Yeah, I'm gonna work on this a lot tomorrow, today, tonight, too late tonight. What I'm gonna do is probably gonna take a photo of it and really, and take and go through and do a little digital work and see if how far I am off on her, and if she's good enough to go, I'll just come in and finish it up. If not, I'll come back and push her around a little bit, tweaks her hair, make sure her dress is long enough, her legs are in high enough. I know the weight right now. I gave her Fred Flintstone feet because I know I have the paint for the ground and stuff to shape her feet yet. So that's what I was doing really. So a lot of light yet has to go in here, and I got to control the light too up here. Make sure this, even though it is really light up here, that it in here and stuff that doesn't get too bright. But I think overall it's a good start, and it's no James Crandall, but we're working on it. Give me some time. Give
I
everybody
think it'll
some
be
time.
awesome.
Put 'em-
when you're done.
Yeah.
yeah, put them up on Facebook when you get a chance to show off. Make those Saturday people feel bad. All right.
Oh my gosh, they had those chickens.
That was hard. We lucked out.
You got lucky. You got lucky. Somebody asked for a pumpkin farm, and somebody asked for people, and then somebody else added for Halloween. So I said, okay, this is what I got that can hit everything. Sorry. Anyway. All right. Well, you guys have a great week.
For cut out.
Oh. What we doing next week?
Yeah.
Do you know?
What do you want to do?
I don't know. Anybody got any preferences?
Is it time for knives?
I was gonna
Palette
say a
knife?
night feed would be great with like lights at night or something.
Oh, a night scene. Yeah, that could be.
Why are you like?
I'm laughing. I'm laughing because that's what we're doing next week. On Saturday. So okay, you guys get a night scene too.
Really?
That's fine. That's the way they should be. I should, that way I'm staying at least thinking about it instead of bouncing around. So it keeps it a little bit, in fact, easier for me. Night scene as it is. Good for you, girls. We're gonna have fun.
Well, thank you so much.
All right, guys.
Yeah.
Thanks. Good night.
Thanks,
Night,
Jane.
everyone. Have a nice week.
See you
Good night.
next
Hi,
week.
Jim.
Bye-bye.
Great week, guys.